risk your life to get some strange. Our anger is a pain. You didn't know that I'm a saint. I will blow your up, then I again. Gone, feel it in your bones. You ain't gonna feel it till I'm gone. Caught up in your feelings, now you froze. And everything around you getting cold. The chill is in my bones. Caught up in my feelings, now I'm froze. I don't really feel it till you gone. And everything around me getting cold.
Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Round of applause and you go, that's it. Damn, that's a bomb with a flick on my wrist. Jersey on my chest, that's a team that I rep. Came in as a rookie, now I'm ballin' like a vet. If you talking crazy, better say it with your chest. Hit him with the right, then I hit him with the left. Ooh, ooh, then the juke move. Heisman, stiff arm, lights out, you snooze. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. This is not a game, this is not a game. Banging on your chest when I come through the pain. Never been about the money or the fame. But when it bring both, so here we go again. Wins on the road, yeah, I got those. Couple records that I hold, yeah, I got those. It's the playoffs, the team just got home. We ain't going outside when it matter most. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic.
yeah. You're in the presence of the realest essence. I've been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cypress block, young buck holding it like we knew it all. Not afraid to do it all. Matter of fact, to look back and do it all. I can remember the haters say the game will ruin y'all. What's that to me? Don't give about a hater. Let them like the in my paper.
They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbilly. Cubone staying with the lick. Really became a boss many years back. When I'm gone, can be pull your tears back. We put the bang and produce. You got no chance of hanging. They take the tails when you're flipping the quarter. We ain't slowing down, we crashing through the border.
Man, what you just do? Some hack shit, man? I said, what you just do?
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, it's week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Washington Commanders. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Brissett going to go to the air right away. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it's intercepted. And the Commanders.
Oh, you got that black key line, okay.
Wow, just one snap in, partner. And the coverage of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
19 Tiger.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop it behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Willis to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
He said stop. Oh, man. Hey.
This is 3rd and long. 3rd down, it's Willis. Bateman's got it on the crossing route here. He's got the first down and more. Touchdown.
Okay.
Rashad Bateman, his 19th touchdown now of the season. And the Commanders use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. It's good, and Washington will take a 7-0 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Oh, yeah. I ain't gonna count. Your Titans lit.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Well, partner, not exactly the way they drew up the start of this one, but a chance to redeem themselves and hit the reset button here on their 2nd possession.
Come on, catch the ball, though, man. That's all you got to do.
Reset, right? In a lot of ways, it's just shaking off what happened before, starting fresh, almost like it's your first drive all over again.
They giving you that shit, bro. Jamar Chase dropped that?
So following the incompletion,
Jamar Chase dropped that. Jamar Chase dropped that. Wow.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett.
And y'all can't block. Okay.
Throws there, incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They forced incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they bring coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Brissett. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 14 yards there on a Falcon first down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Brissett's throw taken in here by Chase. 2nd and 5. Here's Brissett. And this throw will be intercepted. And the Commanders are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
But it's certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, That D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum down.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And they'll go again with Etienne. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Etienne up the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Now they'll look to Willis to throw. Being chased out left. And he fires one incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Willis out of the gun. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. Butker's kick here is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. A lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. $10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Brissett to throw on first. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw, Brissett. And this is caught by Watkins. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 44-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Out of the gun, Brissett. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
On 3rd down, Brissett. And that will be incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
I'm on the other side of the 50. What you talking about? Man, that shit janky as fuck.
Moved early. Accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is fielded inside the 5. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. They'll start on the ground. ETN. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. ETN once more. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. A 3rd and 2. Here's Willis. He'll air this one out for Mims. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jamal Dean.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him get run up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Play action now. Brissett. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. Working with his 2nd and 4. Jacobs going to try the middle. Powering forward. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. On play action, Brissett. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. I know, but you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Loss of 5, a big sack to bring it for 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
This is taken at the 15. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Oftentimes when you lose in a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Willis. That's into the hands of Tutu Atwell. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Tutu Atwell, 46 yards. And the Commanders are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a now a hit and a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
I'm starting to get the sense throughout the league that more of the special teams coordinators give their guys the green light to bring the ball out because everyone wants big plays to happen. I don't know if that philosophy will hold after that era there. Turn it over that deep in their own territory.
Do guys go rogue there a lot based on feeling?
I think a lot of them just sense that they can make a play and make a huge one to help their team. And they have to have that athletic arrogance about them.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Trayvon Walker in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Shotgun snap to Willis. Going for it all. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So the big return had them fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just 1 play. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Brissett on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
On second down, ETN once more. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first two plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Willis. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grover Stewart drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. Washington going to send out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. He gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL. This is caught at the 20. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. But he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. Over the middle, caught by London. And the Falcons are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Throwing, Brissett. That ball is caught. It's London for the Atlanta touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab, and the Falcons get a bit closer. So that, Charles, their first score of the ball game, obviously, coming here in the third quarter. Is that going to be enough to energize the troops?
It's a great question, and we'll wait to see the answer, but it's finally something for them to build on. Now they know that they can actually score against that defense.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now down to 20. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Steps away to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Panther 11.
Another try after the first down sack. Willis flushed out right. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Willis, 3rd and long. He's going to let this one go deep. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Falcons are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. He's going to float this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Falcons. That halftime lead dwindling.
I love the way you just said that. Perfectly encapsulates what we're seeing right here. Strike after strike, making the big comeback, and right now they are putting the pressure on them in a huge way.
2nd touchdown of the half, and that one was a big one. Elliott good with a PAT, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Willis looking deep downfield. Willis throws another interception, his 3rd of the game. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Falcons are going to get it back here just past the 35. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
But we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
1st down, Brissett. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with a short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On 2nd down, Brissett again. He's got this downfield to McBride. He's got room at the 30. Through the middle of the field. Touchdown, Falcons. Trey McBride, 64 yards. yards. And the Falcons have got it back to within a score. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down. Willis now off play action. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
18 Rattler, 18 Rattler.
Play action. Here's Willis. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That gain on third down, good for 28.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On first down, Willis. And that's going to be caught downfield by Mims. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Come on, come on. Hey. Head the street. Ready.
A shotgun snap and a give to ETN. 53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Second down throw coming by Willis. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back in the 24. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Back now at FedEx Field. It's Washington with the football and the lead as we start the fourth. And this offense on third down today, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
19-18.
Third down, it's Willis. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Vincent Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Commanders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. So on this drive, the rookie leads him into the end zone, Charles, and that helps cancel out the points that were created on the previous drive when he threw the interception.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this rookie because instead of hanging his head after
after his mistake leads to a touchdown, he comes back out, and he's firing and made up for it right there. A well-executed series helps reestablish some confidence in him to run this offense.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Philip Dorsett by himself. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Falcons. And that big fourth quarter return, Charles, makes this a one-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had a big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for two? Or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
Elliott good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Things sure were looking good for them at the half. Heck, off the air, you and I were just saying they might run away with this thing and cruise to a victory. Not anymore.
Yeah, the cruise control has to be off at this point. Now you've got to mash the gas yourself. Again, who's going to step up and make a big play for you? Who's going to take care of business now that you're being pressed? It is definitely go time for them at this moment.
All of a sudden clinging to a slim lead and hoping to hold on to that lead. That is caught by Mims. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. On second down, Etienne once more. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Washington. Travis Etienne, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum, but not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. He's going to float this one deep right side, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
On second and 10, Brissett. This pass is caught by London. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The first down throw for Brissett. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is incomplete.
Partner, they've been aggressive, airing it out all game long, and no better evidence than those last 2 snaps. They weren't going to beat this coverage on 2 plays in a row, and that one falls incomplete.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Brissett, he's going to let it go again. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Brissett. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
You can admire his willingness to sacrifice his body to try and pick up the first down, and I do. But let's face it, you know his coaches are going to warn him about diving or extending for a marker for this exact reason. So much easier to have the ball knocked free when you're extended like that. So if you're going to dive, you got to make sure you secure the football, which he didn't.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Following the fumble recovery, Willis. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Falcons are right back in this football game. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Brissett. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. The offense on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Brissett. Eluding the pressure right. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards. Brissett to throw on first. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. It's 3rd and long for Brissett. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Fourth down, Brissett. And it's incomplete. They could not convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position.
Ready? Right there.
Running out of the gun with ETN. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another toe for ETN. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the gun, here's Willis. And he will find Atwell. That's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. A handoff for ETN, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 121 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. Touchdown. O.J. Howard from 13 yards out. And the Commanders have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that will make this a 19-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to get this down near the 25. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Commanders come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the title as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is of all those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Commanders, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You put the, you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got all in your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in the trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down, she real vicious. Rock-a-bye, baby, no witness. This is not even a conflict. You on nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton. But with that gang, they make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look. See, I was the high school slick brick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 gripping. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different. I need a roundaway girl to live in. Showtime at the Apollo. I'm about the bottle. Take 2 and pour out a little for my who won't live to see tomorrow.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.